What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Hope that y'all are doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys everything that I learned from my dad, and I hope that you guys enjoy this. And if you've never seen my face before, hi, my name is Mangy. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button to join the family and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and on TikTok at _smagula_ for all three platforms. Let's be friends. Let's get chatting. DM me, ask me questions, whatever it is that you want. And without any further ado, let us hop right into today's video. First lesson, I learned to forgive. That was the first lesson. I had to learn to forgive. After the things that he had done, I had to teach myself to forgive because it was something that was just eating at me and eating at me and eating at me, that I disliked this person so much. This person did something so terrible, whatever. And it was something that bothered me every single day. It was something that I thought about every single day of my life. It was something that consumed me. It was something that ruined my entire friend group. It ruined my relationships with people. It ruined my relationships with so many people, basically. It was not even directly ruining things, but it just ruined them. And I had to learn to forgive. I had to learn to let go. And so that was the first lesson. It's important to let go. There was a pastor who once said that forgiveness is not for you, but it is not for the other person, but it is for you. Yeah, I learned that. I learned that the hard way. And then the second thing that I learned from my dad is to appreciate the people around me. I had to learn to do that. I had to look around me and see who was there. Even after he had left, I had to look around me and say, okay, these are the people who are here. These are the people who are in my corner. These are the people who've been around ever since I was young, ever since I was born, and appreciate that. He made me appreciate male figures in my life, honestly. Like any man who comes into my life and cares and genuinely cares, genuinely cares, like the Ben and the Tom and the James I spoke about in one of my other videos. I will link it in the cards and in the description box below, in the comment section, so go watch that to learn about Ben and Tom and James. I really, when my dad left, I really learned to appreciate people like Ben and Tom and James. They weren't the only ones. It's just Ben, Tom, and James are the ones that that really came at a crucial time in my life, and they're still around and still going strong, so it's great. And then the third thing that I learned from my dad, is that the third? Yes, it's the third. The third thing that I learned from my dad was how to handle rejection. The way my dad just dropped everything and just went MIA, and then did the things that he did. It really taught me to deal with rejection. I think for me that was like the ultimate rejection. It was I've always felt growing up that I was rejected. I've always felt like I did not fit in. I always felt like I was doing something wrong, that was just not what everybody else wanted or what everybody else was accepting of. I just always felt like I was misplaced. But that with my dad was like the ultimate rejection. It hit deep. It was bad. I hated myself after that. I thought, oh my goodness, nothing in this world is ever going, I'm never going to be good enough for anything in this world. Nothing in this world is ever going to be for me. No one in this world is ever going to be for me. And I just, I basically gave up. I basically gave up when I was in high school. At this time, I was in high school and I was starting university. So it was that 2016-2017 period where I was transitioning from high school. I was in matric, so I was transitioning from high school into university, into the adult world. And y'all, I gave up on everything. I gave up on myself. I gave up on my schoolwork. I gave up on my friendships. I gave up on everything. I just dropped everything. It was almost as if I was like a little child. You know how children walk around carrying things, and once they get annoyed, they just drop it? That's how I was. I dropped everything. I dropped everything that mattered to me, honestly, and it was bad. But ever since then, I learned to pick myself up and how to handle rejection. If I'm being rejected, whether it's a friend or someone I thought was a friend or anybody else for that matter, it still hurts, sure, but I think what I experienced with my dad sort of taught me or prepared me for everything else. So now I can just take it like a champ. Like, it hurts, doesn't make me feel good about myself, but it's fine. Work through the emotions. We move on with our lives. We don't hold on to things that are not for us. We don't hold on to people who are not for us. So that was the third lesson. Lesson number 4 that I learned from my dad was how to deal with depression and anxiety. When he left, I struggled so terribly. Everything that was hidden came to the surface. I struggled so bad. I struggled for many years after he left. It is 2021 now, and he left in 2015. And literally, it's been a roller coaster since then. But I'm in a better place now. And yeah. Number 5 that I learned from my dad was not to. The next lesson that I learned from my dad was not to put every single man in the same box. Not to put every single man in the same box. I made the mistake after my dad left of putting every man, every boy. If you were male over the age of 16, I put you in the same box as my dad. Literally, I would put them in the same box and just think, if my dad was this way, it means every other man is going to be this way. And yeah. But I had to learn that not everybody's the same. I had to learn to forgive. I had to learn, like I said, forgive. And I had to learn to let go. And I had to learn to give every other person their own chance. You know, give my uncles a chance, give a friend a chance, give guys a chance. So that was a very important lesson, which I'm really glad I learned during the time that I learned it, because it was very important. And then another thing that I learned from my dad was how to love yourself. I think I depended so much on my father's love, or well, not father, okay, biological father, let's not get technical with it. I relied so much on his love and his approval that I totally lost myself. And then when he left, I stopped approving of myself. I stopped loving myself, and I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn to approve myself, give myself the stamp of approval, give myself a thumbs up, pat myself on the back. It was difficult, but I learned that, and I'll forever be grateful. I don't want to get into everything that my dad did and be all angry or hate on him or whatever, but these are the things that I learned. I'm really grateful. He wasn't for me. He was in my life for a couple of months, and then he was gone, and I'm so grateful for that time. Even though it broke me, I think it was necessary for me to go through that. And I will forever and ever and ever and ever be grateful that God let me have that experience so that I could be where I was today. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this video was really short and very sad. I think it's kind of sad, but I'm trying to look on the positive side of things. So if you feel that there is any lesson that you've learned, if you have an absent father too, you can DM me if you want to talk. I've had experience with this. If your dad is aloof or maybe emotionally absent, even though he's there physically, girl, hit me up. Guy, whoever you are, whether you're a girl or you're a guy, you can hit me up. You can talk about it if you want to. If you need somebody to vent to, my DMs are open. You can vent. And I promise I'm not a judgmental person. I'm not going to judge you. I'm probably just going to share a story with you, like how I can relate to what you're saying and all that. Anyway, that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I will see you all in the next one. I hope the next one will be on a lighter note. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all so much, all the way to the moon, on the sun, and back again. Bye.